I'm going to go ahead and walk through this diagram in your textbook, just walking through how classical conditioning or classical learning unfolds. So as you're probably aware of, after getting to this point in the reading, when we're talking about classical conditioning, we're talking about learning the learning that occurs when a neutral stimulus is paired with an unconditioned stimulus. Okay, the neutral stimulus normally doesn't produce a response in the organism at first, but it's paired with a stimulus that does produce a natural reflex or response. In this case, we're looking at the presentation of a tone with food. Now, normally in a dog, a tone does not produce an immediate response, but food naturally produces the reflex of salivation. Classical conditioning is all about learning associations in the environment. And if we pair the tone with the food enough times, eventually the tone itself will produce salivation because the tone has been linked with the presentation of food. So let's look through this more on a visual level. Here we have phase one before conditioning. Okay, and the unconditioned or unlearned stimulus is food. Okay, it's unlearned because it doesn't have to be practiced or tried out in order to produce the reflex of salivation. Okay, this is a naturally ingrained response in the organism. Food in the mouth naturally produces salivation. Now, if we look at something like the ringing of a bell or a tone, that does not naturally produce salivation in a dog. Okay, and there's no evolutionary reason really why it would. Now here we're moving into the conditioning phase. Okay, and as you see, the tone precedes the presentation of the food. Okay, tone goes off, food is presented, salivation occurs. After enough pairs of this sequence, okay, the dog learns that the tone is usually equated with the presentation of food, and the tone itself will produce salivation. Okay, here, the conditioned stimulus is the tone. Okay, it has been conditioned, the dog in this case, to salivate at the presentation of the tone. Okay, this is classical conditioning, also known as stimulus-stimulus conditioning. All of the associations you pretty much form out in the world, okay, links between different cues and stimuli, in some way involve classical learning.